Okay, Duane, you say in the real far country that if one has a full understanding of the mechanics of the imaginary faculty and the use of it, one can enter into the unseen worlds and eventually the real universes of the East and become all-knowing, all-aware, and totally free. Does this imply that one can escape from the matrix through some imaginative technique?
Well, the imagination is in creation, basically, and it's a start. Okay, it gets you going. All right, kind of like sometimes you got to push your car to get it started, and then pop the clutch, and all of a sudden it's going. So it's a little push start, but you know, of course, we're referring to the end result, but that's huge. But in the meantime, what this does is that because, you know, so many people are mechanical and literal that, you know, to use their imagination all of a sudden, whoa, this is an exciting thing. I can imagine this and do this. Well, it gets a person to the first part of the real side to experience at least something. And this is what Paul did too. Actually, in the beginning, he used astral projection. He called it bilocation, then eventually he called it soul travel. It's just to get people outside of their personal self is all it is. It's a step. And there's many ways to do this. And again, even when people have these experiences very consciously and very real, they wonder if it is real because they're back in this position here. Well, everything is real, and it's just how you consider it, etc. So again, everything takes agreement, but this is just to get people started in some direction, like the dreams, the dream visions. It's to get them started to start to notice something else and start to recognize that there is something else just besides their personal self. But then again, you know, people will have their dreams, they'll have real side experiences, and I've seen it myself with people that I've known, especially people that are very close, my former wife, former girlfriends, etc. They had these experiences, especially Heather in book 2, etc., for almost 25 years, but still she gave it up. Today she don't care. So again, it's how you follow through and make it your own reality, or you don't. So this is how all life is. So we're on Earth, and because we're here and we have a physical body, and it, you know, we move it around, we can decide where to go, what to think, what to have, what to do, and we can feel things with our hands. We can feel the ground, we can feel the trees, we can feel other people, we can feel our car, etc. So we're thinking that, oh, this is real. Well, it is its own reality is what it is. It is not more real than life itself. It's just that this is the reality we're in, to be grounded so that we do have a better chance to recognize what the true reality is. But going through that process with everything and having the guidance and the knowledge to somewhat recognize guidance, and to go from there, that's a whole lot. But what that is, Charles, is that's a start. Because it's kind of like, it's like the sun shining. You don't have to imagine the sun shining. See, this is how life is. You see, the imaginative technique is to prompt you into something besides what you personally know. And so like the sun shining, life is an isness. It already is, but you have to learn to see it and recognize it. Okay, so it's indifferent to creation itself, but yet it's more real. But again, you have to decide to make it your reality. But that's a huge step. You got to go through a lot of process, little at a time, to recognize that, and that could take a lifetime. So I don't give any set time as an example for myself. I just learn to perceive is what I do, and that's the reality of the relationship with the real universes. But the first steps are the NUUU, which is the real connection that provides you to start out in some way to start to see something other than what you've seen. And again, with the books and the references that are provided and other people's experiences, etc., as we continue along here, you learn to start to figure it out, because life is big. It's bigger than the sky when you look up. It's bigger than that. But, you know, again, things are mainly related to the personal self. And again, you need your personal self, but you got to figure it out. So it's more than just doctrine. So we start off with that, and then we use the imagination, all right, to prompt us into something, okay? But then there becomes more than that. See, when you recognize something, is that your imagination? When you were in school and the teacher taught you the ABCs, and all of a sudden you recognize what the letters meant and how you could put them together to words, was that your imagination, or was it recognition? You see? So you learn to see the difference between the two also. The imagination is a tool. It's a faculty that you can use that supersedes the mind. The mind is taught in a literal square box sense, where the imagination can just walk right around and say, oh, I'm going to do this over here and create this over here, you see? But it's part of creation, but it's just to get you, you might say, to a position where you can objectively see the personal self and how restricting it is, and then compare from there to something else that's more real. So yes, there is a lot to it, isn't there, Charles?